I set out to find a build that was similar to the NBA 2K20 rebounding wing build. You guys remember the 6'9" demigod builds that had Hall of Fame shooting, Hall of Fame defense. And now that I've hit starter 3 in NBA 2K25, unlock cap breakers, we now have contact dunks. Oh man, you guys are not going to want to miss this. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy JD back with another NBA 2K25 build. And this build I got for you here is kind of, I'm using it as like a Bam Adebayo type of a build. It's a 6'9" build. It's going to be very similar to the NBA 2K20 rebounding wing build. If you guys remember, that was a very dominant, overpowered type of a build in NBA 2K20. It had the green and red pie chart, so it got Hall of Fame shooting, got Hall of Fame defensive badges and everything on it. You could use it as a wing build. As a power forward, you could use it as an undersized center. It could play center in the park. It could do a little bit of everything, and I think I did a pretty good job of recreating it here in NBA 2K20. I'm going to show you guys the build, and then we're going to come back. I recently hit starter 3, so we unlock cap breakers. I'm going to show you where I put the cap breakers and how we created this build with those and why I did what I did. I'll show you the animations, the jump shot, everything that goes along with it. All I ask is that you drop a like on the video, subscribe if you're new. Let's head over to the builder, check out this rebounding wing build. Let's go. Alright, so here we are over in the builder. We're going to go ahead and put together this build right here. Like I said, I'm using mine as more of like a Bam Adebayo, that undersized center. You could go, small forward or even power forward on this build, just depending on how you want to set it up and everything. Like I said, for this one, I am going at the power forward position. If you want to make it at center, you could do that. If you wanted to make it at the small forward position, you could definitely do that too. Again, just depends on your personal preferences. Just the lineup we're running and everything right now, this build for me fits good at the power forward position. So we're going to go ahead and go 6'9". For the weight, we're going to go 244. And then the wingspan, we're going to take it out and go 7'4" on the wingspan for this one. Want to be able to have them long arms to grab rebounds, block shots. You're still going to get solid shooting and everything like that. Now, as far as the stats and stuff go, like I said, I always like to start down here in the physicals just because they're tied into some of the different badges and things like that. So for this one, we want to be quick. Obviously, we're going to be a little bit undersized, as far as the big man goes, but we want to be able to be quick getting around the court to be able to grab them boards, like I said, recover on defense, move around and all that. So we're going to put an 80 speed on this one, and we're also going to put a 73 for the agility. Again, we want to be able to move off ball and whatnot, help on out of the corner, from the side, whatever you're doing, helping get them chase down blocks, all that other thing. The agility helps with that for sure. So 73 on the agility. For the strength, like I said, you want to have a little extra strength on this one, and if you were going to be using your cap breakers, if you have +6, if you're counting the +5 from the cap breakers for hitting starter 3, and then the +1 for hitting level 40 in season 2, you could use your cap breakers right here if you wanted to get a 91 strength on the build. I didn't go that route, but you certainly could do that if you wanted to. And then for the vertical, again, I think a high vertical just helps with getting boards, blocking shots, doing all that type of stuff. So we're going to go ahead and put in 80 vertical on this build. So very solid as far as the physicals go. Now moving over to the finishing, I'm going to go ahead and run through all of the stats, and then we'll come back and look at the badges. We're going to put a 77 interior on this one. The driving layup, I'm sure I'm going to get flamed a little bit on this one. Similar to my Paulo build, driving layups, it's not something I do a lot of. If I'm attacking the hoop, I'm trying to get to the hoop and dunk. So 64 is where I'm going on the driving layup. And then the driving dunk, I'm going to go all the way up to an 84. That's going to get you the contact lobs. It's going to get you the LeBron James dunk style animations, and this is also where I'm going to be personally putting my +5 cap breakers, so that I ultimately can have an 89 driving dunk to be able to get posterizer on silver, as well as get some of the pro contact dunks and everything, which I think will just make this build even more fun. So this right here is where I'm going to use my initial +5 cap breakers, but to start the build out, we're going to go with an 84 driving dunk. The standing dunk, that was another one right here. I wanted to try to maybe get this up to 72 if I could, but I just didn't have enough extra attributes left over to be able to do that. So 49 standing dunk, we're going to leave it right here. You do get all of the normal under basket animations and things like that. So if you are under the hoop, you are going to be able to get a quick dunk off and whatnot. If you want to tweak the build a little bit to get a higher standing dunk on this build, by all means, definitely do that. Again, this is just me personally, how I decided to make the build. And then for the post control, same thing. This isn't really going to be like a bully ball down low. It's going to be more of a 5 out, cutting to the hoop, wanting to be able to dunk the ball and whatnot. It's not going to be a Shaq type of build. You're not bullying people down on the post. So for me, and again for my play style, I'm leaving it right here, 50 post control. So the finishing itself, it's solid all around. Like I said, when you put your cap breakers on this one, you will have silver posterizer. You get gold aerial wizard. You will have the pro contact dunks and everything on it. It can finish just fine. And then again, enough close shot on this build, so we're gonna have a high offensive rebound on this build. So you're gonna be able to finish under the hoop. You can see you get paint prodigy on bronze. Nothing too flashy, but again, 77 is gonna be enough, to put them putbacks up quickly around the hoop and whatnot. So again, all around solid finishing. Moving down here to the shooting, we're going to go ahead and go 85 on our mid-range shot. That's going to be the max with the wingspan that we currently have on this. And then we're also going to go 78 on our 3-ball. Again, I just like to have as high of a 3-ball as possible. This one right here might be where you want to save a few points. If you think you can shoot, or you can shoot, I don't want to say if you think you can, but if you can move this down and go to maybe a 75 3-ball, you might be able to save some extra attributes to put into another point, into other categories, I should say, somewhere else. But for me, like I said, I'm going 78 on mine. And then for the free throw, taking this up to a 69. That's what I had after all of the other attributes and things were put in place. But you can see pretty decent here as far as the shooting goes. You get Deadeye on silver, set shot specialist on silver, shifty shooter on bronze, so you are going to be able to fade in the mid-range, do some of those different things. Also, by having the 85 mid-range is going to get you access to some pretty good jump shot bases and whatnot as well. Being 6'9", I will show you guys the jump shot after we get through the build here. I'll show you all the other animations and everything as well. So again, really nice solid shooting on this build. Moving down to the playmaking, again, if you're going to be grabbing rebounds, you're going to need to be able to throw some outlet passes, so we do need to have some pass accuracy on this one. So I put a 75 pass accuracy. It's going to get you silver break starter, access to some of them other pass animations. If you're going to play the big in the park, this can be more than enough to chuck the ball up the court. Again, even if you're playing rec, I'm more, like I said, at the power forward type position, but still able to grab boards and throw the ball up the court just fine, having the silver break starter. Ball handle. This was something I wanted to have a little bit of ball handled so we could move around and be a little bit more dynamic on the offensive side. 75 ball handle. And then the reason we went 244 pounds is so that we could have the 70 speed with ball, get you access to the pro dribble animations. As you can see, we also get lightning launch on bronze over here as well, along with some of the other badges, ankle assassin, handles for days, unpluckable, all on bronze, which are going to be very nice. And then the gold strong handle as well. 75 ball handle, again, it's not super high, but it's going to be enough to get a lot of very good dribble animations. You're going to be able to move a little bit on this build, which again just makes it that much more fun. When you have the contact dunks, like I mentioned above with the 89 driving dunk after we put the cap breakers on there, or even like it is right now, if you don't have the cap breakers with an 84 driving dunk, you're obviously going to want to be able to get to the hoop. So having these extra little bit of playmaking, attributes and everything and badges on the build is going to help you out that much more. Now, lastly, moving down into the, I want to say the bread and butter, but again, this build has some other strengths for sure. But down into the defense, for the interior defense, we're going to go ahead and put a 74 interior defense on there. The other thing we're going to do is, with that, we're going to put an 84 block on here. Again, you have the long arms, the high, vertical and everything. You want to be able to block some shots. You see paint patroller goes up to silver with the combination of those two things. Now, for the perimeter, we're going to put a 74 perimeter on here. Again, if you're playing, the big in the park and you're having to switch, or, you're playing in the rec and you put it at the small forward or even the power forward position, or again, even the undersized center, you want to be able to have some perimeter defense. It's going to help with shot contest. It's going to help get a little bit bumpy. You're not going to be super bumpy, but you're going to have 85 strength, long arms on this build. You can see over there, you get some pretty decent defensive badges. Same thing with the steal here. You want to be able to get lane steals and all that good stuff too. So we're going to put an 85 steal on this build. As I mentioned in the opener, I was kind of likening this to like that NBA 2K20 rebounding wing that has the Hall of Fame defense and shooting on there. So we want to make sure we have plenty of defense on this build. And again, the other thing I want to do, I'm calling it a rebounding wing type of a build. We're going 92 on the offensive rebound. And then lastly, we're going to put an 80 on our defensive rebound. So again, why I'm calling it more of a rebounding wing type of a build, you can see right here, box out beast, pogo stick, rebound chaser, all on gold. This build can really snag really well. Even having the 80 defensive rebound on the defensive side of things, you can box out, you can grab boards, you can get that ball up the court. You can grab the ball and run it up the court, start the break yourself. You know, like I said, having the solid playmaking on there. I mentioned the paint controller being on silver. You see high flying denier on silver with this build. You know, the steel, we get silver glove and gold interceptor, as well as the bronze challenger on ball menace, which I talked about. It's kind of like your clamps badge for this year. So being 6'9", we're still gonna have access to that, as well as silver immovable enforcer and off ball pest. And then also having the 74 interior does get you access to bronze post lockdown, which is just going to help you guard on the post. Again, if you're playing the big in the park, or you're playing twos, whatever, or even in the rec, you know, you get some of them, you know, bigger, like, you know, whether you get the 2 center lineups, different things like that. It's just going to help you guard, you know, down low and everything. So again, I really like this build. I'm enjoying it quite a bit. This is what the stats and everything look like. Let's go ahead and finish this thing off. Here's kind of where I got the idea of calling this the rebounding wing. As you can see, the shades of, you know, nothing spectacular there. AK-47, Tari Eason, and Scotty Barnes. But the name that you get is going to be a 3-level scoring board hunter, which in my mind kind of makes me think rebounding wing type of a build. But that's going to be the build itself. Let's jump back over. I'm going to show you guys an update on the build. I'll show you all the animations, how we use the cap breakers, the jump shot, and all that good stuff. So let's head back over there real quick. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy JD back with another NBA 2K25 build. And this build I got for you here is kind of, I'm using it as like a Bam Adebayo type of a build. It's a 6'9" build. It's going to be very similar to the NBA 2K20 rebounding wing build. If you guys remember, that was a very dominant, overpowered type of a build in NBA 2K20. It had the green and red pie chart, so it got Hall of Fame shooting, it got Hall of Fame defensive badges and everything on it. You could use it as a wing build. As a power forward, you could use it as an undersized center. It could play center in the park. It could do a little bit of everything, and I think I did a pretty good job of recreating it here in NBA 2K20. I'm going to show you guys the build, and then we're going to come back. I recently hit starter 3, so we unlock cap breakers. I'm going to show you where I put the cap breakers and how we created this build with those and why I did what I did. I'll show you the animations, the jump shot, everything that goes along with it. All I ask is that you drop a like on the video, subscribe if you're new. Let's head over to the builder, check out this rebounding wing build. Let's go.